Good evening, folks. Welcome back to Celtic Fans TV. Starting 11 prediction time once again for tomorrow's trip to Dingwall to face Ross County. We come into it off the back of Wednesday's 2-1 win over St Mirren, where we got there. In the end, I don't think it was a vintage Celtic performance, not one we'll look back on with any real fondness or great memories at the end of the season, but you do have those games throughout the course of a campaign. I think we were just a wee bit slow. We obviously had a slow start to the game, and then I think even after the equaliser, I know we missed the penalty, but I think for the middle part of the game, we were just a bit slow in terms of building the attacks. St Mirren defended well, they're defending deep. Set up my 5-4-1, no doubt it's difficult to break them down. They're defensively well organised under Stephen Robinson, but I just like to see a bit more intensity, a bit more speed in the play, and I think we got that eventually in the second half with the introduction of Home and Yang, who added some impetus into the team. But I would like to see a better performance tomorrow up at Ross County. This video is sponsored by William Hill. We have teamed up with Celtic's official betting partner this season. We're going to be giving away some great prizes. The first prize will hopefully be in the starting 11 prediction for Tuesday's game away at Atletico Madrid, so please stay tuned for that. In terms of a score prediction tomorrow, I'm going to go 2-0 to Celtic. You can check out all the match odds in the description below. As always, please gamble responsibly and visit begambleaware.org. Ross County come into this game sitting 10th in the table. They've got 10 points from their opening 10 games. We have seen some stuffy, difficult games up there in the past. As I say, I think we just need to be careful not to fall into that trap of playing too slowly, letting the game pass us by. I think that's what we did at Easter Road. As I say, we were just a wee bit off it on Wednesday as well. So after going through that period of 3 or 4 games where the intensity really looked like it was up a few levels, we were playing really well. When about that game at Tynecastle, Atletico Madrid, obviously a brilliant performance as well. It just looks like we've come off it a little bit again. Be good to see the performance level back up tomorrow. A good opportunity to go 8 points clear, with Rangers not playing a league game this weekend. It's important that we just get the points on the board and apply as much pressure as possible whenever they come round to playing that game in hand. I think the further ahead we can get, the more pressure it puts on them not to make any errors, given that we've already got that 5 point gap there. So hoping for a better performance tomorrow. Let's get to the team, where we'll start in goals like we always do with Joe Hart. I think the back four will be Johnston. I think Carter Vickers is going to come back in. More on him in a minute. Scales and Greg Taylor. Carter Vickers obviously being left out was a worry on Wednesday night. It was just precaution, but Brendan Rodgers confirmed that he's sort of managing issues around his knee, where he had, I think, the surgery during the summer. That was injury that kept him out for a period of time. Some talk about having to get fluid removed from it. That would concern you with the number of games we've got coming up, the volume of games. I hope he's okay. Whether he'll be back just in the squad, Brendan Rodgers confirmed he will be in the squad, but whether he'll make the starting 11 for this game, or will we see fit to leave him on the bench and keep him for that big game in the Champions League on Tuesday in Madrid, I don't know. I think definitely for Phillips, you can see the difference in quality. I think on the ball, he's much slower across the ground than Carter Vickers as well, and I think Carter Vickers is just a much better all-round defender. He brings a solidity to the back four, and something I would really like to see is improve on is giving up less chances on our goal. We conceded again on Wednesday. I think a few times this season we've just looked a wee bit vulnerable defensively. I think we're giving up more chances than we should be, and I'd like to see us tighten up a wee bit in that respect, and Carter Vickers being involved is key to that. In midfield, I'm going McGregor, O'Reilly, and I'm going for a start for Odin Thiago Home. Now, I don't necessarily think he'll get a start, but I thought he impacted the game really, really well when he came on Wednesday night. I think he showed some signs of promise early in the season. He had that red card at Feyenoord. He was injured apparently the past few weeks, but I think you can really see his qualities, and against a packed defence you'd expect Ross County to play similarly tomorrow. He's got that movement and he can find a pass, and I think his assist for O showed the quality that he's got. He almost been forced to the right hand side of the penalty area, but he's aware. His awareness of where O is absolutely brilliant, and he just slides that reverse pass right into his feet. I think he's got the quality on the ball to unlock a deep defence, and I think Turnbull obviously got a brilliant goal the other night. It was a great strike to get his back level at an important time in the game. He does go on to miss a penalty, which can happen. I think of all the Celtic players that have taken penalties recently, Turnbull's got probably the best record. He is a great striker of the ball. I don't know where we go from here with penalties though, because we've so many players in the team have had a shot at taking them in recent seasons. Kyogo had one and he missed it. Hatate missed it. Tynecastle. McGregor's been on them before and missed. Now Turnbull's missed. I think O took one last season at St Mirren and put it away. But in terms of the starting 11, the players that play every week, we seem a wee bit lost in terms of who's taking the penalties. Even someone like Turnbull, who when he's on the pitch is the number one taker. The reality of it is, so far this season, he hasn't been on the pitch very often. So penalties are a hard one for us. We almost just give the ball back to the keeper at this stage. The record's so poor. But anyway, I've went for home to get a start. Whether he will or not, we'll see. On the right-hand side tomorrow, I think Dyson Maida will return to the starting lineup. And I have went for Yang on the left-hand side just based on the positive impact that he had on Wednesday night. I know that the jury is still out in terms of the role some of the summer signings can play in the team this season, given the limited minutes they've had. I think Yang, when he's had starts this season, maybe hasn't impressed so much, but I think he did help us in the game on Wednesday. I think maybe right now he's best suited to being an impact player off the bench. I think there's a different pressure when you're playing at a club like Celtic, maybe any club, at any level. There's a different pressure to starting a game than there is when you come off the bench. Coming off the bench, particularly in an area like out wide, when defences are getting tired and you've got a point to prove because you haven't started the game, I think mentally is a different prospect from having to take the onus and the responsibility from the start of the game. He's a young player, new to the club, but I think, as I say, he injected a freshness on Wednesday night. And given that the manager has alluded to making a couple of changes here and there to the team, given the volume of games, I think Yang might get a start tomorrow. And I'm going to stick with Kyogo through the middle for now. I think Kyogo will definitely start on the bench in a game some point soon. We can't rely on him to start every single game throughout the season. And fair play to him, off the bench for 15 minutes on Wednesday. And he got the decisive goal, and it was a great finish, to be fair to him. A good touch. I've touched on the build-up with Kyogo and home, but a great first touch, and then he just smashes it into the roof of the net. A really, really good finish. A confident finish for a player who hasn't been playing very often. So I think he will get a start at some point in the near future, but I've just went with Kyogo tomorrow. So there you go. Like the video, comment with your own thoughts below. Let me know who you think will start. I'm looking forward to the trip up to Dingwall tomorrow. We'll be back with all the full-time reaction straight after the game, as always. Thank you.